So, I want to talk about turning your worry into prayer. So, if you have somebody in your life who you're struggling with interpersonally, or let's say you're a mother, right? And I know there's mothers here, and your child is struggling. Your child is going through and by child, I mean this could be a 30-year-old, and they're always your child, right? To some degree or another. But your child is going through some difficulties. And as a mother, you want to get in there and you just want to get in there and fix it, and you know exactly what they're supposed to do. And oh, if they would only listen to me, and then you end up kind of nagging them about it, and then they push you away and they don't want to deal. Okay. So instead of all that, turn your worry into prayer. So, what do I mean by that? In the Buddhist teachings, this is kind of a horrific image, but the image that's often given of compassion is a mother with no arms who watches her only child float helplessly down a river. So, and just thinking about that it brings tears to my eyes, because it's like, oh God. However, the message of that, I think, that is really germane is that we are powerless. For all our wisdom, I think this is the hardest thing about being in any relationship, but I imagine with mothers with children, it's especially hard because, what's so hard is when you see, I know exactly what that person needs to do to help themselves. I know, she needs to quit smoking. They need to go out and get a job, or they need to just call up their friends and go, what they need to do. But for all that knowledge, there is no power to actually implement that. It's ultimately in their hands. And this is where we can make ourselves sick, trying to kind of prevail against that reality, against that truth. Okay, I see some nodding going on here. So how do we turn our worry into prayer? So by prayer, what I mean is petitioning the energy that is greater than our own being, or what in the 12-step world we call the God of our understanding. It could be anything. It can be a kind of a theistic deity type of God, or it could just simply be the universe, the greater wisdom, higher power, however you identify this force. But to bring yourself to that energy and to acknowledge and just simply say, I can't control this. In Al-Anon, there's a great saying, I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and I can't cure it. And sometimes that can feel like a punishment, sort of like, but we can't. So going to this higher power and really laying the whole issue out and handing it over. Prayer. So to do this effectively, it is very important to detach from outcome. So actually, before I talk about detach from outcome, I want to say something about prayer. Some of you might be familiar with a man whose name is Larry Dossey, Dossey, and I think he was out of Harvard years ago, back in the 90s. I don't know if he's still around. Larry Dossey did these experiments at Harvard where he got people to come in and pray for bacteria in a petri dish. So you would just sit there and pray, just like what we were doing tonight. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be free. And the bacteria would start to grow and proliferate. And they started to really kind of become much more vibrant. And he also had people do like anonymous long distance prayer. So he had people in a study who did not know that they were being prayed for. Like it was kind of like the control group and the prayer group, that kind of like a double blind type thing. And even if people didn't know that they were being prayed for, they started to get better. I mean, I guess you could argue it was the placebo effect and the suggestion, but nonetheless, these were the results. So if you think about from the point of view of compassion, that we are really, truly all one on a quantum level, we are all children of this Mother Earth, then prayer is a very, very kind of a nuclear tool. It has tremendous potential to help where worrying and codependent behavior cannot.